Hi everyone, this is Cheyenne from Ruby Easel Art Studio, and I'm here today to teach you the graph technique of drawing. Now this is something that apparently a lot of other artists know, a lot of people have been through art school. Now I went to high school arts courses, I went through post-secondary art courses, I shadowed another artist. Both of my parents are professional artists, and nobody ever taught me this technique, despite me being dyslexic and always struggling with perspective and proportions and placing in composition. So imagine my chagrin when I discovered this technique in a book that I was given for Christmas. I'm very happy to find it, however. I, in past years, have been commissioned to draw animal portraits and pet portraits and the like, and I've always really struggled, even though I really enjoyed it. And since discovering this technique, I have been able to knock out several different portraits. This is one exercise that I did for my textbook. This is another exercise. I did this sort of thing would usually take me a couple of hours, like 4 or 5 hours, measuring the width of the ear, the width of the eye, the distance of the eye from the ear, the distance of the scoop of the bone here from the cheekbone, and measuring all of those things by hand and then recreating it on a piece of paper. Now I can do that, but it was very time consuming. It made the cost of my commissions way higher than other people's. I didn't understand why other people were so much better at it than me. And then I discovered this. This is probably what they're doing. It has led me to be able to do things like this, which I'm still working on. I was never able to draw such a nice lion's face before, and I love lions. My last name is Leo, and I am a Leo astrology sign. I love lions, and this is the best lion I've ever drawn. I'm so proud of him, and he's not even close to finished. I still have a good 10 to 15 hours drawing on this guy. So, yeah, it's just a wonderful technique. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is draw out yourself a 6" by 6" grid. It's going to look like this. You can see I was already starting a picture. It's going to be of my little dog, and I'm going to include that montage in the end of the video, but this is an example of the grid. I just had to go bust up a pet fight. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take a ruler and I'm just going to go from 0 to 6 inches and mark that out. It's a little too long. There we go. Just 0 to 6 inches straight line. Then from the bottom of that straight line, I'm going to make this as straight as I can and mark out 0 to 6 inches. Then I'm going to put my 6" mark right at the line like this, and I'm going to try and make sure it's as straight as possible, and make another line. Oh, I got that pretty straight. And then from the top across here, this again as straight as possible, which is easier to tell with the top of the notebook. I'm going to make another line. That was a little off. That's okay. It's still a 6" line. So now I'm going to use my ruler and mark each inch along the line. I'm going to do that on both sides. For this perspective. And I'm only going to do it on the bottom for the perspective of going away from me, because I find it easier to tell if the ruler is straight when the lines are going away from me than when they are perpendicular to me. I guess that's perpendicular. So level them with each dot, hold the ruler firm, and go across. Level with each dot, hold the ruler firm, go across, hold the ruler firm, level it with each dot, go across, and you're going to do that all the way down at each mark to make 6 cells. When you're going this way, you're making the lines for the cells, okay? When you're going this way, you're making the line for rows. So there's 6 cells by 6 rows for what I'm doing. I wonder if that's a little off. I'm finding that's a little off, so I'm going to now, see what I did? I didn't mark my inches, and I got one of the lines just a little bit off. The good thing is that you can usually tell right away if you get your line off, because you get wonky cells when you do that. Okay, so I'm going to line up the 2 dots, hold it firm, and do that. Of course, when I'm trying to do a YouTube video is when I mess up making the grid. But that's good. It shows everybody that even someone who's been doing this a lot in the last couple weeks can make a mistake. This is such a miraculous technique for me. You guys have no idea. At least I hope you have no idea. I know there are lots of people out there with dyslexia and lots of artists out there with dyslexia, but I always hope that people don't struggle as much as I do. So I've done that all with just my plain Ticonderoga pencil, but now I'm going to start drawing. So I'm going to switch to these really nice Royal graphite pencils that I got for myself. Now I got these from the Mackenzie Community Arts Center, where I until recently worked, and they were only, I think this set that I got was less than $20, and I really enjoy them. They're really nice, they're really creamy, they have a good variety of hardnesses, and I just really enjoy them. What I have here is an HB, an H, and a B. So there's all different levels of graphite pencils. Those are your 3 basic, and then there's also 5B, 4B, 2B, and as you go down, see there's B, then 2B, 2B, there's 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, and as you go down the row of numbers from 1 to 6 or 8 or wherever you're going to, then the pencils get softer and more easy to blend. But then they also have H, right? They have H, hard pencils, and then 2H, and then 3H, and 4H, and 5H, and 6H, 7H, 9H, and as you go along those numbers, the pencils get harder. They leave finer, smaller marks. You can draw almost invisible pictures to paint over with them. There's all different levels of graphite, and I just really enjoy the variety that this set gave me. It also came with a pencil case and a sharpener. Not that I didn't have a sharpener and all that, but I thought it was really great. It also came with a professional eraser, which I have already misplaced, and I'm so happy with myself, but I have been organizing my studio, so So the first thing that I'm going to do, just like you can see, and what I was doing before the kitty dog fight, was I'm starting to draw what I see in each grid. Now it's a 6 by 6 inch grid, and the picture that I'm looking at has a 6 by 6 grid over it. So each grid, I'm just drawing what I see inside it. So, like here, like the nose, that was 2 in, 1 down in the corner, and that's where I saw the nose beginning. So I make a mark there for the nose, then it went across and down and up to make her cute little nostril nose, and then across here and up. And just going over the line, and then making the little shape of her nose and the little cleft she has right in her nose. Now the cleft of her nose marks where her lips start and the direction they go in. So kind of go like this, right? And then the other one comes down and goes like that. Then, and I think I got that a little bit wrong. I think that's a little too straight there. There, that's I think a little better. And then, down here, there's a little swoop. And then another little swoop. And from there, there's a line that goes up, little swoopy line, and from the cleft, from the middle, there's a little, and that's her little tongue. And then from right here, right above where the swoop is, her mouth comes up and it matches the curve of her upper lip. And I'm doing a little bit of shading in now. Now the thing about my dog is that she's a melanistic Pomeranian, so all of her lips, tongue, gums, everything is black. So I've tried to show that a lot in this picture. And then under her little thing, you can see her chin. And I'm going, trying not to mess up too much, but. And here you can see that's just the beginning of her little nose. And then up here, there's a grid here, which is beside her eye, and I can see a line that I added to this picture that helps me determine where her eye goes. It's just in the picture, it's just connotating just her fur, how fluffy she is. She has this little crease that comes out of the corner of each of her eyes, and it's level with her eyes. So drawing this line where it is, and I think I've done it a little too high, maybe I have. Yeah, it's a little too high. I'm going to make it a little bit lower. And then from here up for the circle of her eye. she has that there is the edge of her nose. So you can see her face is very slowly starting to take shape. And I'm messing up a little more than I did here. But it's okay because it's all in pencil and I can fix it all. So I'm going to just continue to draw what I see in each grid. Each grid is its own focused thing, and I'm going to match each grid to each grid that I'm looking at in my reference photo as well as I can. I really am going to try to focus on getting every grid perfect, because when you put all the grids together, then you get a perfect picture. And I just love how this technique works like that. Now, please do send me pictures of whatever you try with this technique. I would love to know what you guys are doing. I'm going to include a time lapse at the end of this in a second here of me finishing this picture. I was doing this to show you what I meant. Now this wasn't turning out as well as I wanted it to, so I am going to go back to the one that was turning out so well. But I think I did the nose a little big in this one, and that's what's throwing me off. But that's okay, because I can erase it. I can try again. I can try 1,000 times. And the grid never changes. It never moves. So I just have to keep trying to get each grid perfect independently. I do it independently of the rest of the picture. I'm trying to get each grid in the picture to look exactly like the grid in my reference photo. Now I'm using a black and white picture that I already drew of my dog, but you can use any picture of anyone. You can convert a colored picture to a graphite picture. And whatever you're drawing, I hope you have a great time doing it, because I really enjoy this technique. So enjoy the montage of the doggy getting finished, and I hope you guys all have a great day. That's my video. That's my Pomeranian. Her name is Shay. Now, by obviously, and by no means is this a perfect picture. If I was going to make this for somebody, I would spend hours more perfecting it. But I did this in 19 minutes. I drew this in 19 minutes, whereas before I would have been measuring the width of the eye, the width of the nose, the distance from the nose to the eye, the distance from the eye to the ear, the distance between the ears, where the center of the ears is. So many measurements that I used to have to do to get something that looked like what I wanted it to. This looks like my dog in 19 minutes. And that's why I wanted to share this technique with everyone, and I hope everybody has fun making new creations with it. Please do send me pictures of whatever you make. I would love to see them. Happy creating from Ruby Easel Art Studio.